organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
How safe are you really when taking a cab in Iowa City?
And students are choosing to use card over cash. Find out why next.
And in sports, Iowa football reflects on their win over UNI as they prepare for their second game of the season.
All that and more is coming your way. Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dora Grote.
And I'm Katrina Doe. Bikes, cars, buses, and walking. Those are all ways many people get to and from where they need to go. But those aren't the only options. Taxi cabs are a popular way to get around in many cities, including Iowa City. But what happens when one of those options becomes a source of worry? Anna Theodosis asked students on the University of Iowa campus how they feel about taking a taxi after an alleged assault took place last winter.
I guess it all depends on if you want to put yourself at that risk. I personally wouldn't, and I don't feel 100% safe riding in a cab alone.
Chloe Blick says she's a little more hesitant to take a taxi alone than she used to be.
I've ridden in many cabs. I've had tons of super nice cab drivers where I feel completely safe. I've ridden in a cab alone once, and I was totally safe. But I've heard so many stories where if you ride in a cab alone, you can get in a lot of trouble. So I wouldn't recommend it, and I personally don't feel safe doing it often.
And she isn't the only one. Iowa City residents were alerted of multiple alleged assaults against women in January and February of this year. All 3 attempted assaults happened in taxis. Since then, some say they have been more on guard about who the person driving them to their destination really is.
I think in general it's important to be aware of your surroundings and for women not to, be doing out at night necessarily on their own in unsafe areas. But I'd be more leery in Iowa City because I knew that happened.
Since the investigations began, local law enforcement started taking a closer look at taxi cab regulations in the city. The Iowa City Police Department is now in the beginning stages of working to change laws that would crack down on requirements of cab companies.
I think the sexual assault investigation that we had last year kind of exploited some of the problems that we were seeing, but on a lower level. As far as businesses and owners and managers being able to track their drivers and what their drivers are doing.
Some of those new regulations would include having cab companies operate a 24-hour accessible office, painting the taxis with unique color schemes, and requiring drivers to have city-issued identification. One Iowa City cab driver says more regulations could help in certain situations.
Theoretically, it might make people feel a little bit safer. I don't know how much good it'll actually do practically. I think most people who are in danger, potentially, are not aware enough to notice things like that.
Despite the occurrences of last winter, Officer Hart says that Iowa City residents have no reason to fear taxi drivers.
The one thing I want to assure people in our community, especially young college-age women, is that most of the cab drivers are just fine. It's a very, very small percentage of cab drivers that we have a problem with, especially when you're talking about the sexual assaults. Most people are actually good people.
He also says regardless of who is driving, people should still do certain things to protect themselves. And some residents agree that more regulations would be a positive thing.
Definitely, I think it would. That would definitely tell you more about the cab driver who's driving you. They have a lot of control in that situation.
Reporting from Iowa City, Anna Theodosis, Daily Iowan TV.
Officer Hart says the Iowa City City Council has indicated they want to move forward with these plans and has given the police department some recommendations.
A disagreement over music was the cause of an argument Monday morning. Police arrested 63-year-old Terrell Wyges after he was accused of holding someone at knife point. According to witnesses, Wyges held a knife to the victim's throat, asking him if he was ready to die because the music he was playing. Wyges is currently being held at the Johnson County Jail.
Last year, a faulty battery sparked a fire in the secondary roads facility, and now a year and a half later, the new facility is near completion. This building houses Johnson County's maintenance vehicles in charge of 900 miles of roads across the country. While the facility completion date will be in early December, Johnson County Supervisor Janelle Reddig said the slow production of this project is due to the volume of other construction projects on campus.
The past few days, students have opened a can of happiness. Even if your name isn't Josh, outside the Iowa Memorial Union, you could get a personalized can of Coke with your name on it. Coca-Cola's Summer of Sharing campaign kicked off in July with a 500-stop cross-country tour. The campaign features traveling kiosks that enable fans to customize a mini can for themselves and someone special. Coke representatives helped students and faculty at the kiosks and handed out mini cans by the handful. Katrina, did you get your name on the Coke can today?
I did not. I wish I would have, though. I saw it.
And still to come on tonight's show, more young people are choosing to use plastic over paper when it comes to spending.
And coming up in sports, Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Chelsea Brown caught up with running back Jordan Canzeri as Iowa prepares to take on Ball State Saturday.
We'll now hand it over to Hannah Hawks, who is standing by in our weather studio. So far this week has been beautiful. Hannah, what can we expect in the future?
Labor Day weekend has come and gone, and you know what that means. Put away your summer clothes because fall is here. Even though the stars may not agree that it's fall yet, meteorologists say weather patterns are shifting. So far, September has rolled in beautifully and looks like this weather could be here to stay. Tomorrow we'll have another gorgeous day. If you have morning classes, you might want to bring a light jacket as temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s. Throughout the day, we'll reach a high of 83 with just a breath of wind to keep you cool. Into the evening, clear skies and low humidity cap off another perfect day. Looking forward to the rest of your week, you might want to pull out your umbrellas for Thursday. Some scattered thunderstorms will roll in, but don't worry, Friday afternoon will clear up just in time for another beautiful weekend and start to next week. Go out and support your Hawkeyes on Saturday with sunny skies, a high of only 74 and a light breeze. Conditions are perfect for a big win against Ball State. That's all I have for you right now. Back to you guys at the news desk.
A new survey out last week reveals how the majority of millennials, persons ages 18 to 29, spend their money. Reporter Michelle Nago has the details in this week's Street Chatter, where we talk to students about current issues on campus.
Whether they're paying for a university textbook, a Chipotle burrito, or a Hawkeye sports t-shirt, students appear to be going plastic.
All you have to do is really swipe.
A new study conducted by creditcards.com says young consumers don't really carry around cash anymore.
I paid with card.
But instead, they prefer using a debit or credit card.
Well, I like to use my debit card because it's a lot easier to handle.
I feel like people are moving towards cards though because they just think it's easier to carry around a card instead of a ton of cash.
I lose cash a lot, so it's just easier for me to use my debit card.
I use my debit, not my credit, so I know how much money I have on there, and with the cash, I see it and I want to spend it.
Because even if somebody steal your card, you can replace that and they can't get into your money, but they stole your cash, that's easy to spend.
But students say they haven't completely strayed away from traditional dollar bills.
Whenever I'm spending cash and taking out multiple bills, I feel like I'm spending a ton, where if I just swipe my card, I feel like I can spend unlimited.
The reason why I have cash all the time is because I like to choose where I spend it at, and then also because it's easier to manage, because if I leave all my cash at home, then I feel broke. But once I get all my cash together, then I feel rich.
It's almost easier to break into someone's credit card and debit card. Cash, I feel like it's harder to steal people's information.
But the 4 students do agree they prefer plastic over paper. Michelle Nago, Daily Iowan TV.
In the study, millennials were the only age group to prefer plastic over cash for purchases less than $5. Katrina, I know I only carry credit cards in my wallet. What do you prefer?
I do too. I only carry credit card. It usually seems most convenient. While this is nearly the 1-year anniversary of last year's Vodka Sam making national headlines, Gameday Arrests saw an impressive decrease over this weekend at the season opener. According to UI Police, only 3 Paula citations were given and no open container citations were given. This is a startling drop from last year's 28 citations and 14 arrests at the first game. Only 3 students were arrested at this year's opener. Now let's toss it over to Jalen Sochak, who has everything we need to know from Kirk Ferentz's press conference today. Take it away, Jalen.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. I'm Jalen Sochak. A whole lot to get to as we met up with Kirk Ferentz's squad at their weekly press conference earlier today as they prepare to take on Ball State this Saturday. Ferentz started things off celebrating the season opening win over Northern Iowa last weekend, but like any coach, he was quick to count the flaws. The Panthers gave Iowa a bit of a scare as they were just 1 point away from taking the lead early in the fourth, thanks to a couple of big UNI passing plays. Something Ferentz says was quite disappointing.
Probably about 4 or 5 plays actually stand out for about 230 yards. So, anytime you have something like that, it involves someone on the front end and then also secondary end as well. Because anytime you give up a big play, unless it's just a bomb down the field, which none of those were. So it's something we'll continue to work on. That was probably the most displeasing part about the ball game, giving up big plays, particularly in the passing game. And if we're going to have a good defensive ball club, we're going to have to eliminate those things, and that's a team thing.
Looking ahead to this weekend, history speaks for itself when deciding who will take the W, as Iowa has won both previous meetings against Ball State, outscoring the Cardinals 101-0. But this Ball State squad is not the same team Iowa faced back in 2005 and 2010.
We caught them in 10 where they had dipped again, and now Coach Lumbo's come in, and to me, I would compare them to where they were in 07, 08, on that upward swing. 17 games out of the last 19, that's pretty good percentage. But they're just, they're well coached. It looks like their players, and I read a little bit, it looks like, they do the same thing. They get guys that work hard and have talent that maybe people overlook.
Both those seasons ending with bowl appearances for the Cardinals. Iowa fans saw a lot of versatility and consistency from the Hawkeye offense against UNI. Quarterback Jake Rudock targeted 13 different Hawkeye receivers, including running back Jordan Canzeri. Our own Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Chelsea Brown met up with the running back earlier today.
Hey guys, Chelsea Brown standing alongside Jordan Canzeri. And Jordan, I know 13 guys with completed passes this last game against UNI. What was kind of the mentality of the offensive side?
We just wanted to see who could make plays for us, and for us to be able to see that a lot of people can contribute and that we have a lot of weapons. It's obviously just a huge thing for us and a positive thing to see. And it's also just another thing that it's what the other teams see as well. So now us knowing that we have people that can do that and other teams knowing that we can as well, it's just obviously a thing that our opponents should watch out for.
And going along with passing, a lot of short passes first half, and then second half you guys had like a whole different mentality. What was going on in the second half?
Well, it's just whatever how the play develops and whatever Jake sees, and he's done a great job, and obviously you saw that. But it's just we didn't have, when you play your first game, you don't have the film on that specific team. You just have it of the previous year. So it's not like we knew everything that was going to happen. So for us to start off with just the short passes, it's not like we were just trying to be conservative. It's just whatever was there was there. And when the big plays opened up in the second half, we just took advantage of them.
And 2 more games in Kinnick before you guys are on the road. How was the atmosphere the first round?
It was awesome. We truly believe we have the best fans in the country, and it shows. They're always with us in the ups and downs, and it's just awesome that we're going to have 2 more home games just right all back-to-back like that and against good opponents. And so we're just ready for the energy to build up.
All right, well, thank you, Jordan, and back to you guys in the studio.
And finally, before we let you go, we have exclusive photos from the up-and-coming Football Operations Center. The new 76,000 square football facility that connects to the new indoor practice field includes team locker and meeting rooms, a strength training area, athletic training facilities, and state-of-the-art technology for training, coaching, and recruiting.
We had to raise a lot of money to put this new building up, and I'm just so appreciative, not only for the people that have their names on the walls, but for everybody else that chipped in. A lot of people chipped in, so it's and that's how things have been done here, and it's really, I think, even that much more meaningful because so many people were involved to make this happen.
The new football facility also includes a Legacy Hall and All-American room honoring former players and the great traditions of Hawkeye football. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight, but be sure to check us out tomorrow for the return of our What It Takes segment featuring one of Iowa soccer's best. Katrina Dora, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jalen. Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan.
Construction continues on the theater building. Find out what students and officials have to say about the slowed progress, and find out what happened at tonight's City Council meeting.
That's all we have for you tonight. Catch up with us tomorrow night at the same time or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Have a great night.